In the world of football, there are leaders, and then there are legends. But what if a man was so dominant, so visionary, that he transcended both roles? Franz Beckenbauer was not just a player or a coach. He was a revolutionary. He moved with a grace that belonged in a different era, a confidence that bordered on royalty. This is the story of how a boy from post-war Germany, a self-proclaimed street fighter with a football, became an emperor. A man whose genius would redefine what it meant to lead on the world's biggest stage. Welcome to Luxe Legends, where fame, fortune, and controversy collide. Section 1. The Birth of the Kaiser. He was born in the rubble of post-war Munich, a world of hardship and scarcity. Franz Beckenbauer's early life was a constant struggle, but he found solace and purpose in football. Therefore, he joined the local youth team, SC 1906 Munich. He was originally a center forward, a striker, dreaming of goals. But a fight with an opposing player from his beloved 1860 Munich in a youth tournament caused him to switch his allegiance. Therefore, he signed with their rival, Bayern Munich, a decision that would alter the course of football history. At Bayern, his incredible talent was undeniable. He possessed a vision and elegance that was at odds with the typical German football of the era, which was defined by physicality and brute force. He was a defender in a time when defenders were just that, defenders. But he refused to simply stand back and kick the ball away. Therefore, he created a new attacking role for himself. He began to move forward from the back, joining the attack with precise passing and an effortless grace that was completely unprecedented. This was the birth of the sweeper, the libero, the free man who could play a pivotal role in both defense and attack. His innovative style of play earned him a nickname from the German press, der Kaiser, the Emperor. But Beckenbauer's ambition was not just to play beautifully, but to win. Therefore, he would soon lead his club to an era of unparalleled dominance. The world of football had never seen a player like Franz Beckenbauer. He was the architect of a new position, a role that had previously been a purely defensive one. He transformed the sweeper into a dynamic playmaker, a graceful commander who could orchestrate attacks from the back with a single pass. His success with this new role, this new way of playing, was not just limited to himself. He began to elevate the entire team. With his longtime teammates like goalkeeper Sepp Maier and the lethal striker Gerd Müller, they turned Bayern Munich from a struggling second division side into a European powerhouse. They won the German Cup, but that was just the beginning of a golden era. Therefore, they went on to win a hat-trick of European Cups from 1974 to 1976. Beckenbauer was the heart and soul of this team, a leader who ruled with a calm authority, but he also possessed a fiery streak that could erupt when a teammate's effort wasn't up to his standards. Therefore, he demanded perfection from everyone around him. This dedication and brilliance earned him the Ballon d'Or in 1972 and 1976, cementing his status as one of the greatest players in the world. But his most iconic moments, the ones that would define his legacy, were still to come on the international stage. Section 3. The Glory and the Game of the Century. Franz Beckenbauer's journey with the West German national team was a dramatic saga of triumph and heartbreak. His first World Cup was in 1966, a tournament where he was so brilliant in midfield that he scored 4 goals. But the team suffered a painful defeat in the final to hosts England, a match forever remembered for the controversial Wembley goal. Therefore, Beckenbauer had to wait 4 more years for his chance at redemption. In 1970, in the scorching heat of Mexico, West Germany faced Italy in the World Cup semifinal, a match that would later be known as the Game of the Century. Beckenbauer was at his brilliant best, but he suffered a dislocated shoulder in the second half, a brutal injury that would have forced most players off the field. Therefore, he famously played on for the rest of the game with his arm in a sling, a symbol of his unbreakable will. West Germany ultimately lost a brutal 4-3 match in extra time, but Beckenbauer's incredible display of courage and leadership became the stuff of legend. Therefore, the stage was set for his ultimate triumph. In 1974, with the World Cup held on home soil in West Germany, Beckenbauer, now captain and the definitive libero, led his team to the final against the brilliant total football of Johan Cruyff's Netherlands. The Dutch scored just a minute in, but Beckenbauer's calm, tactical genius prevailed. Therefore, he nullified Cruyff's influence and led his team to a stunning 2-1 victory. He had conquered the world, fulfilling his destiny as a player. After a successful stint with the New York Cosmos, bringing his celebrity and luxury lifestyle to the American shores, Beckenbauer retired as a player. But football's biggest stage was not done with him. Therefore, in 1984, he was appointed West Germany's national team manager. The appointment was highly controversial. Beckenbauer had no formal coaching license, no real experience, and was simply handed the job based on his legendary status. Many saw it as a desperate gamble, but he proved his critics wrong with his unique style of management, one that was more about leadership and man management than tactics. Therefore, he led his team to a World Cup final in 1986. They lost a thrilling 3-2 match to Maradona's Argentina, but the defeat only fueled his desire for ultimate revenge. Therefore, he dedicated himself to the 1990 tournament. 4 years later, he led a new generation of German stars to the final, once again facing Argentina. The match was a tense, brutal affair, but a late penalty from Andreas Brehme secured a 1-0 victory. Therefore, Franz Beckenbauer became only the second man in history to win the World Cup as both a player and a coach. It was a feat of unparalleled greatness, a testament to a man who possessed a natural, instinctive understanding of the game in every role he took on. With his coaching legacy secured, Beckenbauer moved into the world of football administration. He became the president of Bayern Munich, transforming the club into a global commercial juggernaut, a symbol of success and luxury. But it was his leadership of Germany's bid to host the 2006 World Cup that would become his most ambitious project and his most controversial. He led the successful campaign, securing the tournament for Germany, a victory that was seen as a personal triumph. But it would later be tainted by serious allegations of bribery and corruption. Therefore, his legacy, once pristine, was now tarnished. Investigations from FIFA and the German government led to questions about a multi-million euro payment, and his reputation as a man of integrity was called into question. He was banned from football activities by FIFA, and though the ban was later lifted and the case closed due to the statute of limitations, the shadow of scandal lingered. He passed away in 2024, leaving behind a legacy of unparalleled brilliance. But it was a legacy that was no longer perfect. Therefore, he will forever be remembered as a complicated figure. A king who built an empire, but whose own kingdom was not immune to its controversies. In the end, Franz Beckenbauer's story is a powerful one of a man who was ahead of his time. He was a player who redefined a position, a captain who inspired a nation, and a coach who achieved the unthinkable. He was the embodiment of grace and power, a true leader in every sense of the word. He may have faced controversy in his later years, but his contributions to the beautiful game are so immense they will never be forgotten. He was, and will always be, the Kaiser. Join us next time as we delve into another story of immense fame, unimaginable fortune, and jaw-dropping controversy. Don't forget to subscribe to Luxe Legends, where fame, fortune, and controversy collide.